It's been said you can't teach an old dog new tricks. But what about highly trained police dogs? I mean, they're pretty smart, right? Nope, not even then. Ohio State Representative Sean Brennan said that it's an unintended consequence of marijuana legalization, but Ohio is going to have to retire over 300 doggos that cannot unlearn the scent of cannabis. In November, citizens of Ohio got together and put Issue 2, which would legalize recreational marijuana, on the ballot, and despite most of their elected officials trying to tell them to vote no, they voted with their middle finger and said yes. So now, even though you can't buy it anywhere yet, it is officially legal to grow and possess cannabis in the state of Ohio. But that's actually creating a real problem for the state's police force, as they have to pivot to allow cannabis possession and undergo retraining themselves. The hardworking dogs trained to detect marijuana and other drugs can't differentiate between one drug and another. If they detect something they've been trained on, they will let someone know. And if the officer does a search and finds legal cannabis, that spells trouble. One officer, talking about his furry partner, said, quote, "If he goes up on a traffic stop and had a sniff around the car, and if he was trained in marijuana and hit on it, we would search that car right there. But that's a no-no now because marijuana is legal, so you can't go into the car because of it. It would invalidate the search and any evidence found would be inadmissible. So even if there was a whole load of crack cocaine in the back, if there was any cannabis, a lawyer could argue that's what the dog smelled and there was just no cause to search the car." Representative Brennan then added the fact that we now are going to need 300 canines, like overnight in Ohio. The demand for dogs and training is going to be at a premium. And that's not going to be cheap for the taxpayer. Right out of the gate, with all the base training they get, means qualified police dogs cost the department $7,500 to $11,000 per pup, let alone the training they have to do with their handler and getting them set up. So the bill going through the government is hoping to lock in $6 million in taxpayer dollars, or $20,000 per dog, to get them replaced. Initially, that'll come out of the state fund, but they are proposing that this is yet another thing that cannabis taxes will pay for sometime in the future. But what happens to the dogs when they're retired? Well, they usually live with their officer handlers anyway, so now when they retire, they'll be able to buy them for just $1 and make sure they have a good home and a good thank you for their service.